In 5, 4. Hello and welcome to the G&G podcast. My name is Gabe.
And I am Gato.
Today we have some breaking news. Thought we would share.
Yeah, we do.
Twitch, people. Twitch apparently had a big leak today. I will preface by saying you should probably change your passwords and turn on two-factor authentication in your Twitter accounts. FYI. Did you do that, Gato, yet?
No, actually haven't. Even though you told me, I was watching Squid Game. Okay.
Hey, I heard good things about that one.
Oh, it's an amazing show. We just finished it.
Season 1.
But there's more than one season?
I don't know. You just spoiled it. Just kidding. I don't know.
No, I didn't.
I don't know.
They're let's kind of not say anything. But it's really good. You should watch it.
Yeah, well, that's on our
Squid
to-do
Game
list.
Sponsor us, Squid Game.
We're kind of watching Scream Queens right now.
I don't think I know what that is.
It's like American Horror Story, but less
Oh.
horror, I guess.
Okay, all right. Yeah, there's a couple of shows that I've been wanting to watch / am watching. Like, started watching Fear Street.
Oh,
And,
yeah. Heard about that one too.
And I'm gonna start watching Midnight Mass to see
Yes, I want to watch
if
that
it's
one
good
as well.
at all. But yeah, so we just finished Squid Game, and you texted me as we were watching the last episode, and so I kind of didn't really pay attention to it. And I was like,
Yes.
oh wait, it's podcast time.
So apparently, Twitch leaked. And what I mean leaked, I mean everything. Like their source code, everything they used, all the code they used to run the website, internal documentation, and apparently this leak has been compressed into 125 gigs of information, right? And so you can find this list that also includes at least 10,000 streamers' income. So you have a list
That's a
of
lot.
how much each streamer makes.
And this is based on streaming only, is that correct? Or is this
Yes.
like all of it? Because see, this is how I knew about this. I was just going through YouTube this morning because I was feeling kind of down, like sick. No, I'm not sick, but I'm not. I was just feeling. It was the morning, okay? It was the morning, but I was going through some of the YouTube videos, and then I saw one that said, "Well, I knew that PewDiePie was live." And a little short after his stream was over, someone posted a video
I think I
of
watched
the
the same
leak,
one.
like him reacting to the leak. It was like what, a minute long, 2 minutes long.
Yeah. He was pretty
And so
calm
I
about
watched it. Yeah, and I was just like, is this an old video or something? Because I mean, I didn't see the live stream, but I saw it and it was like literally posted today, and so I was like, oh. I'm like, what? Something happened? And I'm like, that sucks. Like, that they're like releasing all that information. And then you texted me about it as well today and told me that I should change my passwords. But which passwords is it though? Like, what is being affected
So,
with this?
I mean, there's a tweet from Tom Warren that says that it is legit, but it doesn't appear to have password or personal information. But I would assume if you had the code, you could maybe figure out, maybe not, but I'm guessing their passwords are stored somewhere else. But at the same time, just to be safe, you should probably save or change your password.
So this is just like Twitter and Twitch passwords, or should we be changing
Twitch.
all passwords?
Just Twitch.
Just Twitch.
Yeah.
Okay, so just Twitch.
And then turn on two-factor authentication. You were asking me about that earlier,
okay.
right?
Yeah, because you texted me and you were like, you should change, or you should add
2FA.
2FV,
A.
2FA.
Yeah.
And I was like, what's 2FA? And then I was like, wait, hold on. We need to talk about this. I don't want to text you about it. I should talk to you about it. So
Exactly.
that's what it is.
We need content.
Two-step verification. Yeah. No, actually, I've been doing that with a lot of my Google accounts nowadays.
Yeah.
Actually, all of my Google accounts have two-step verification, and anything that I can get on that, like double verify everything, or at least go to like secret question kind of thing. I'm like, I want to do that. Oh, hi, kitty. Because my Hulu, somebody keeps tracking my password to get into Hulu, which is like so random. But
Like you keep getting
every
the
now
emails?
every now
Oh,
and then I'll keep
jeez.
getting an email from Hulu, and I you know what, I do make sure that it is Hulu and not a scammer, because you know about those emails too, right?
No, I did not.
So, okay, so for you and everybody else watching and listening, there are some scammers that will send you an email saying like, "Hey, somebody is using your password. Please go change your password if this wasn't you." And they'll send you a link, and then you click on the link, and everything seems legit, and then it goes into like create new password, put in your old password, but you're not really changing your password. You're literally giving them your password. So it's not like you're changing it, but you're typing in your old password to verify that it is you.
Right.
And then you change it to a new password, and then they have your password, and then you have no access to
Eesh.
your accounts
That's
or
horrible.
whatever you're changing the password for. So I learned about this a few years ago, so this is like not new. But whenever I get emails like that, I always make sure that the source is legit. And I also check the website. So on the URL, I always make sure that it doesn't have anything fishy, like anything that's misspelled or anything like that, because that's how they hide.
Usually,
So
even,
yeah,
most of the time with like Chrome, they have that padlock icon next to the address bar, which means it's secure, means it's legit. You don't have to worry about scam.
and this is on Chrome.
Chrome, even Safari has it.
Oh, well, there we go.
But also, I usually check the address, the email address,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it's usually like some jumbled letters and numbers. So bad.
Yeah, no, I've been changing my password. I've been changing them up anyway. Yeah, because I used to have basically the same password for all of my stuff because it was easy to remember. But I was like, if somebody knows one password, they know all my passwords.
Yep.
So
Same thing.
I had to start changing them. So
Did you get a warning from
there's
Chrome saying
huh?
you have compromised passwords?
Yeah, so
I got that too.
so I was like, okay, I don't want to do that. So now I have multiple different passwords that I keep written down as well, and they're in code. So if somebody were to like stumble upon it, like whatever, let's say somebody breaks into my house and they find my password notebook, they wouldn't know that it's passwords or to what it's a password to, if that makes sense. So
Good to know for when I break into your house.
why am I saying this on the internet? Well, no. You know what? I don't bring it to my house, but but I take it as good advice. I think it's smart to not leave your password just out and about, or make it so blatantly clear that that's what that is. So
I just use a password manager
on your computer,
on my phone. LastPass.
do you need
Or
to
one
get
password.
do you need a password to get into your passwords?
Yes, and that one is that's the scary part. I mean, it's complex enough, but if someone gets their hands on that, that's it.
Mm. Yeah, man.
That I
That's,
probably shouldn't say on the internet.
Do we need to censor this?
Yes.
Tell us the password. I'll censor it.
The password is cameras are great. Subscribe to Gato and Gabe podcast. Password.
It's a good password to have. I should change all my passwords to that now.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, and share. Um, so with all the leaks and stuff like that, like, did you see? I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
not to like
I've
pry on
taken a
all
look at
the.
it. I've seen the list.
Yeah, you have.
Yep.
Okay, so PewDiePie is one of them, and he was very nonchalant
I don't
about
think
his
he's.
information
I
being
could.
leaked.
I don't know. I don't know if I could. Is he still on Twitch? Or is he
Yeah,
on
he
YouTube?
is.
Twitch.
Both.
Oh, okay.
He does both.
Well, I will tell you, he's not even in the top 25.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, let me guess. Alinity is top 10.
That's what's surprising. The
She's
ones that
not?
you think should be on the top 25 are not on there. I know, right? And I don't want to give
Okay.
specifics because apparently it's breaking the law or some rules about sharing
To
specific
share
numbers.
who. Okay, so let's not talk about numbers, but can we talk about the names? Is that legal? I'm actually curious to know who's in the top, and
I don't know
do
if
we
it's,
know them?
I haven't really. I mean, I'm not too sure. That's to me
Ninja.
they seem very unknown. I've never heard of these
Okay.
people before.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it the angry guy?
Here, I'll
He's like bald and he's like all muscular. He always likes to scream and stuff.
I don't know that guy. There you go.
Okay, so these numbers, are we talking about how much they made in a year or how much they make a month per stream?
So the data is from August 2019 until October 2021. So good like year, 2 years actually. 25 months to be specific. And man, these numbers are really high. I did tell
Wait,
you
you got
though.
a link?
Huh?
You got a link? Send me a link. I'll look
may
at it. I
have
won't
or
say.
may not have sent you the link on Discord.
Oh, already?
But here's the thing. Your glasses.
Wait. This is how much they made from August 2019 until this year.
Oh, you found the link yourself, right? You didn't get it from me.
Yeah, I just found it. I
Okay.
just Googled it. I didn't Google it, but
But yeah. Isn't that crazy? And this is just from streaming alone. Not even like not even taking into account donations or
do
sponsors.
do we need to take on Twitch instead? Like, should we switch from YouTube to Twitch?
You know, I don't
Because
know now.
is oh well, but then again,
I
that means our information would be out. And,
I don't know. I
but I
feel
mean,
like I'm leaning towards YouTube now.
Because of this?
Not only because of the league, but in terms of discoverability, I think
we have better chances here.
yeah, better chance on YouTube.
I mean, yeah.
Like if you wanna make money, Twitch. But I don't imagine us living off of Twitch, right? Unless you want to. Unless that's your goal.
Well, I'm already living off of YouTube, so
Yeah, you don't wanna turn your back on YouTube now.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, YouTube has been great. Like even if I'm not actually I make profits from YouTube, not just from this channel, but just YouTube in general. Like everything that I've worked on has given me some sort of payout, which I'm like, it's a weird feeling. Like I'm thankful and appreciative, but it's like it's not sustainable, and so at the same time it's kind of scary. I don't know if that makes sense, but I like YouTube has been my life. Like my shows, my entertainment, everything has come mostly from YouTube,
Yeah.
more than anything else. And so I feel like
Brit says I'm addicted to YouTube.
yeah,
I have to agree.
I can't be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have. Oh, you know what? I think I have it pulled up here. I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I am subscribed to 69 YouTube channels.
Is that on purpose?
It actually wasn't. It was not.
Wow.
I just remember earlier today I was looking at the subscriptions and it said like show 62 more. And I was like, holy crap. I'm like, I follow that many people. And like, I went through all of them.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do actually like all of these people. And yeah, granted, some of them are like my other accounts. But yeah, I follow 69 subscriptions.
You
and
made
that
one extra count just to hit 69. Admit it.
Yeah. Well, the G&G podcast is the
There you go.
69th.
That's the real reason why you made the GG.
I was like, why do we make a podcast? Because we need another channel to subscribe to, and that would make 69 for me.
So going back to there's a list apparently. It's for The Verge, put out an article saying the leak includes 3 years worth of details regarding creator payouts on Twitch, which we talked about already. The entirety of Twitch.tv with commit history going back to its early beginnings. So just to explain what commit history is. So when you do code, there's you use something called Git, which is like a tracking system. So whenever a programmer makes code and says, you know what, I want to submit this code to be part of the main code. And so these commits that programmers make are what gets added to it's like a pieces of this bigger puzzle, right? So think of each puzzle piece as a commit. And so this is pretty much saying that it has every puzzle piece since the beginning of Twitch TV. And I wonder if that even includes like Justin TV, because I believe Justin TV was what Twitch was before. So it has everything, the whole code system.
How old is Twitch?
I would say 30. Oh no, that's the person Twitch.
30 years. This is almost as old as I am.
Oh my gosh. It launched in 2011. So it might not include Justin TV. But anyway. So you have the source code for mobile, desktop, and video game console Twitch clients. Code related to proprietary SDKs, which means an internal AWS services used by Twitch. So like Amazon code, some sort of usage is there used. So any app that uses Twitch, like either part of the connector account with Twitch or watch the stream embed on Twitch or something, right? Or on another website. All the code includes that. An unreleased Steam competitor from Amazon Game Studios. So there was a leak on that one. So apparently Twitch has plans to dethrone Steam. Good luck with that one.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, Steam's coming out with the handle gaming console. What's it called? I mean, it's called the Steam something, right?
I know.
It's like the Steam handle Steam or Steam Deck. That's what it is.
I like that one.
I don't know.
I like that one though.
Handle stick or handle Steam. Handle Steam.
Handle stick.
Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says data on other Twitch properties like IGDB. I don't know what that is. What is IGDB?
IGDB.
It's a video game database intended for both game consumers and video game professionals alike. So, okay. And CurseForge? I don't know what CurseForge is. Manage your mods and add-ons with CurseForge desktop app for Windows and Mac OS. Download CurseForge app. Feature projects, Among Us, and other stuff. So I think it's like a mod manager. Dang. And then Twitch's internal security tools.
Oof.
So that's gonna be a
So,
big one.
did this happen this morning or was it last night?
Apparently, this was today.
Okay, well, that's what I was thinking. Um, who did it though? Like, do we know why or who or the the why or the who?
Um, the poster claims the leak is designed to foster more disruption and competition in the online video streaming space. Uh,
So whoever did it was saying we want it to be more fair.
Probably, or they want to give other streaming platforms a chance by hurting the big one,
Yeah.
which makes sense. The crazy thing is that if people now have their hands on internal security tools, I mean, Twitch will have to like rewrite everything because now someone can just, scrub through that, figure out how Twitch's security system works. Which is that sucks.
You know what I was thinking about just now?
Yeah.
So we got this today. Remember what happened yesterday
Yeah.
with Facebook and
Yep.
Instagram and WhatsApp
Yeah.
and how they were all down for at least 5 hours, was it? And then it's like, who brought the servers down? Like, was that an accident or like did anybody ever say what actually happened? Like, was it like I mean, there's a lot of jokes about like hackers, breaking in and stuff like that. Others were just like, yeah, I mean, all the servers are down and Zuckerberg's gotta like fix it and whatnot. I mean, I posted some jokes like that on my Instagram because I thought it was funny. But it's kind of like, what if these are all like legit cyber attacks?
I wouldn't be surprised.
But then what does that mean for us? Like, do we need to change our Facebook and Instagram passwords too? Like, would you do that just to be safe?
I probably should.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, maybe I should change those too.
I think a part of it might have been the whistleblower situation. So I don't know if you heard about this story, but someone that was like a senior position at Facebook, whistleblowed about some of the practices about Facebook. So a lot of apparently this person obtained some documents talking about turning off, because you know how Facebook was always trying to talk about being fair, preventing hate speech, racism.
Yeah.
There's apparently documents that kind of talk about how they were downplaying it or even like ignoring it, right? Which I could see why Facebook would probably do that, because they make money off people's beliefs and then just refeeding them their beliefs.
Facebook is not good for humanity.
For social media in general.
Somebody, I think I saw somewhere, I don't know if it was on Reddit or something like that. It's like, get rid of social media for a week or a month and see what happens then. I think a month would be good. Like, really, like, show people what it is to be without Facebook and see what happens. But it's like, I feel like we, as a society,
we live in a society.
We live in a society where we rely so much on the internet. I mean, yours and my entertainment is on YouTube.
Yeah.
Twitch is a huge platform. I mean, based on this list alone, we can see that, I mean, people are making more than enough for a good living off of Twitch. And then we have other people also profiting on other social medias like Instagram, like you have the influencers and stuff like that. And Instagram's like connected to Facebook and WhatsApp. But what happens when what happens when you take it all away? What happens to us as a society? Like, do we go back out to riding our bikes and playing with rocks and sticks? Or was that just me that played with rocks and sticks?
Playing with ants and burning things.
I did that. I did that for sure.
We should save that.
It's
for
just
another podcast. Talk about crazy things we do.
But yeah, it's been interesting
I just
to
sent
see what
you
happens these last 2 days.
a link on Reddit, and it was a subreddit. Data is beautiful, and
Ooh, I love that.
someone made a post. I should probably send you the post as well, but it says, "I quit social media for a few weeks and tracked my mood in several categories."
Ooh.
So you can see the correlation between, you know, not having social media makes you happier.
So, can we? You know what? I'll put this up on the
Screen.
podcast. Yeah, on the screen. So those that can see it, is really interesting. You can. I don't know how long I'll leave it up. So if it's too short, I'm sorry. Just pause the video for a moment. And for all of you guys listening on Spotify or Google or Apple podcasts,
We'll try to explain.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So we got a chart here, and it goes from day 1 to day 30, and you got the issue, which is one overall mood, political anxiety, COVID anxiety, economic anxiety, body image, faith in people, victimhood or outrage, sleep quality, and black and white thinking. This one is that last one is a huge one for me.
That's a crazy one, yeah.
And it's not even. We'll explain to it in a minute, but so these people, you said they went
He was
the
just
30
one
days
person.
without social media.
I believe it
Oh,
was
just
a
one person.
22-year-old.
Okay, so we got a 22-year-old. We've got 5 color keys, 1 being horrible, 2 being bad, 3 okay, 4 good, and 5 awesome. So on day 1, I mean, most of it is pretty bad. Everything's in ones except for overall mood is 2, body image, sleep quality is 3.
Did you see body image?
It's the same. So funny enough, so out of the whole list, like this is what's interesting to me. On day 1, body image and sleep quality are 3, which means okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the 30 days, body image and sleep quality is the same. So what is going on there, dude? But everything
quality,
else,
I could imagine that one makes sense. I don't think you can reset your sleep in like 30 days.
Yep. This is very true. Sleep quality, it's not as easy as, like, it's not that easy to fix. Body image, I can also understand this because social media doesn't make body image bad. It enhances the badness of it, in my opinion.
Amplifies your thoughts. Already.
Amplifies. Yeah. Like, body image, it doesn't just come in the form of social media. You see it in movies, you see it in magazines, you see it everywhere. Like, wherever you look, you're going to see someone who looks better than you. Even if you're, like, super fit with a six-pack, or, like, the flattest belly and the biggest booty, you're always going to see somebody that looks better than you. And so I can understand why that one wouldn't change as much.
Yeah.
But everything else has gone up to either 5 or 4.
Not to downplay this data, focusing just on body image and sleep quality, but like the rest of it, overall mood went from 2 to 4, political anxiety went from 1 to 3, COVID anxiety 1 to 5, economic anxiety 1 to 5 as well. So people that are listening, just imagine like a gradient starting from red, slowly going to green by day 30. That's kind of what this graph illustrates. Mm-hmm. It's interesting because he uses everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even LinkedIn, YouTube, Pinterest. What's that one behind Pinterest? Looks like a flipped Pinterest logo. Oh wait,
it's a red?
It's everything flipped. Never mind. That's weird.
Wait, no.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, so it is Pinterest. Okay. All right, so yeah, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 social media interactions. Wait, Twitch is in this.
No.
Oh.
Counts. I would count.
Well, a lot of Twitchers go on YouTube, so it's kind of like the same type of entertainment, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, when I left Facebook temporarily for a year and a half, my anxiety and mood definitely changed. I'm still very much active on Instagram and other platforms, obviously, but I feel like I'm pretty good at maintaining an overall good, like well balanced life when it comes to social media versus not. Um, the last one, so the black and white thinking, I feel like that was me in general, maybe 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Um, but funny enough, thanks to actually social media, my thinking has become more gray,
Yeah.
and I love it. It's like the best way I've ever lived my life is by not being so black and white on everything. Like, because that's what I mean. Like every aspect of my life was a black or white, and I found out that for me, a gray type of living is better for my lifestyle.
I think
Some things are definitely black and
because
white.
I think with black and white, that like that means you either have black and white mood, happy or sad.
Yeah,
So at least now you have gray. You're like not this bipolaring mood.
yeah,
You can be in the gray area, which is fine. It's okay. It's okay
yeah,
to be a gray mood today, you know? It's better than being
yeah.
sad.
I 100% agree. I think it's an important point. But if I mean, do what you gotta to get yourself to be a 5. Awesome mood.
Yeah.
Um,
Man.
well, this is super interesting.
I
It
know,
kind of
right?
makes me want to try it, but I can't because podcast.
Right? But imagine now if someone going through that code on Twitch, someone can find all the loopholes, someone could find maybe how the algorithm works.
Create their own platform.
Yeah, right? How things get promoted. Oh man. I could imagine people exploiting that.
Yeah.
You're gonna find like random Twitch streams of peanut butter jars on the top list. Something like that.
um. So what do you think is gonna happen? Like, what's your take on this? Do you think Twitch will just? Do you think they'll rebrand, or do you
Nah,
think?
they have to stick with Twitch, but I think they're gonna realize there's gonna be a drop in their usage. Like if I was the general demographic and me seeing this, I'm like, oh man, I should probably switch to YouTube from here. That's probably gonna scare them. I think first what they're
Does
gonna try to take care of is their security. That's the biggest one because
um
uh,
does does Twitch have an IPO?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
That's a good thing. That would have
Yeah.
gone down
Otherwise, that would be
majorly, right?
straight down.
Um, but oh man, just it's crazy because I do code at work, and then thinking about our code base, and then imagining that just leaked. Oh, that would be so bad.
Would there be anarchy if?
No, but like, oh man. And the crazy part is that this leak is labeled as part 1, which means there might
Really?
be more. Yeah.
Oh. Do you think they'll do it for like? And do you think this means like they're gonna leak information on other platforms then? So does YouTube need to watch out? Like Google, does Google need to watch out?
Oh yeah, you know what? I didn't even consider that. I was thinking part 1 of just Twitch and then part 2 with
Oh.
Twitch, but
Oh.
it could mean like
I
all that
mean,
other
that's
stuff happening.
the thing is like we got Facebook all of like Facebook.
Going
I don't know what
down.
to call it because it's like three social medias in one, right?
Yeah.
But we got that yesterday. Today Twitch. So what's it gonna be tomorrow? It could be Twitch again. It
YouTube.
could be nothing. YouTube. Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah, that would suck. We can't
YouTube's
even post
big.
this unless we post it
We're gonna
tonight.
we're gonna get taken down. Yeah, we're gonna post this tonight.
Um, and it's so crazy because Twitch was just under fire about the whole do better Twitch hashtag do better Twitch movement.
I don't even know about this movement. What?
I briefly read about it, but apparently people can raid other people's streamers and then hate speech happens. And so
Really?
they're trying to tell, I guess people are doing this whole Twitch do better thing to do better on their hate speech filters.
So they don't get it as much.
Yeah, which
No.
you can't really do because I remember reading another article talking about people bypassing using, characters from other languages that look like a C or an F, but it has like extra accents on it, but you can still make out the word. So it's just they're just in bad shape right now.
Yeah. It's just there's gonna be bullies anywhere and everywhere. It's the unfortunate truth.
Bullies that hack your system. Man, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube gaming or their streaming platform took the forefront, which sucks because now that's more power for Google. They have a more of a monopoly on everything else.
Yeah, I don't like that. I mean, I do like Google. I like certain companies, but I like that there's different
Right.
platforms. I don't like giving all the power to one company. I don't like the fact that Facebook owns Instagram and WhatsApp.
Yeah.
I wish they didn't.
Yep.
And like I feel like Instagram was a little bit better and more friendly back before they were bought. And WhatsApp, I mean it's just WhatsApp. It's just a messaging app, but I don't know. It's just the fact that it's like why? Why do you need all of that?
It's all about
Well,
the
yeah,
money.
okay. Obviously, it's all about the money.
I know. It sucks.
I mean, why do we do the podcast? I mean, not for money, but yeah, if there's money, we're gonna do it for money.
Oh man. What's your thoughts on everybody's income essentially being revealed?
That sucks. I mean, it's a big blow. I mean, um, I don't know.
It's weird.
I fail to see
The problem.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I read someone was saying on Reddit, it was just like, what's this whole big deal about not revealing your income? Why is it such a secret thing? Like even at
Right.
jobs, like it's like secretly discouraged to share your salary with other employees.
Well, but here's the difference though, because when it comes to salary, and with the stigma, the whole stigma of like you can't tell people how much you make, like asking is inappropriate and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, okay, you know what? Like, yeah, in certain instances, I think it's inappropriate to talk about how much money you make, but again, this is where my gray lifestyle comes in. I think that it is important to share how much people make, because how else do you find out when people are being duped into like
Yeah.
people getting paid less?
Yeah.
Just because they don't know any better. I feel like I have a friend whose son, who's like 18 years old, applied for a job, and they called him up and everything, and they told him that the starting wage was going to be like $19 an hour,
Mhm.
18, 19, something like that. And so he went into the location to do his final interview, and when they saw that he was just a teenager and he was 18, they're like, "Oh yeah, starting pay is $11 an hour."
What?
And he was like, "No, you said 19." And they're like, "Oh no, like for starting people is like 11, and yada yada yada." And so he walked out, or at least I hope he did. I think I don't think he took the job, but it's like, so that, like, let's say that he had started at $11 an hour, but then there's somebody else who started maybe 2 months before and he's making the $19 an hour, but we're not supposed to talk about how much we make, and so therefore this kid is doing the same work as the other guy for a lot less, and so that's when it sucks, um, and that's where I feel like discussing wages can be appropriate.
I
Now,
know.
when it comes to
I agree with that.
when it comes to situations like this one where they leak streamers like information like that, I feel like in a sense it's a bit it's I mean it's invasion of privacy, right?
Yeah.
I mean they're not choosing to reveal their earnings, and so I feel like it's a little invasive. Well, not a little, it's very invasive. But I guess what worries me about this, and this is the only like me thinking of like a really bad case scenario, like worst case scenario kind of thing, is if there's an acquaintance, a friendship, or a family member that didn't know this, and then they find out via leak how much money this
Oh
person
yeah.
actually makes.
Yep.
That can come with a lot of problems, um, greediness, resentment, like all these things can happen to it, and like again that's just worst case scenario, but other than that it's kind of like, okay, so now we know how much they make, so now what, like what is really the problem besides a personal problem of that sort?
I don't know. Like I've read so many articles saying the same thing. Like, what's the problem? That's a benefit to the
What's
employees.
right, because now they know if like what's
If
going
it's
on.
fair, right? My guess is the stigma partly could be if you reveal your money, you're suddenly not a humble person. I don't know. Like the stigma of the moment you reveal your salary, you're not humble. And I think that's played into that as well.
Is do you think that there's a misconception of the word humble?
Oh yeah.
Like you said, like you reveal how much you make and suddenly you're not humble anymore.
Yep.
And I feel
That's why we
there's
have
been a
the
lot of
the hashtag humble brag. Or
well,
someone,
yeah, but
you know?
yeah. I mean, I always took humble brag as a more of a joke, But,
Yeah.
I mean, I know there's people that do it unironically, but with the word humble, I feel like a lot of people when they think of humble, they think of someone without money, somebody who's more on the
Broke.
poor side.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone who's broke and like they do what they have to survive, but it's like, oh, they live such a humble life. But I feel like that's not what humility really is. I feel like
Mhm.
you can still be a wealthy person and still be humble. Like if you're not boasting about your money, your earnings and everything like that, if you don't buy everything super expensive, you just live just your life and you just
Like
happen
live
to
within
be
your
wealthy.
means.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that you can still be humble even
Yeah.
if you're technically a rich person. And not to pick favorites here, but I actually feel from what I've seen that PewDiePie is actually a bit of a humble guy. Cuz he's a freaking millionaire and he's super famous. He has a lot of pull from people, but you don't see him driving a Lamborghini. He doesn't own a Lamborghini. Sorry. Um, does he? He doesn't though. Like,
No, I was flickering about the pronounced
The-
G on that one. the
yeah.
hard G.
Sorry, it's something I've been trying to correct for the last few
No
years.
way.
Yeah, I can't say Lamborghini. It sounds weird to me. I always say Lamborghini, but I know it's wrong.
Okay.
Amber
GIF
has
or
corrected
GIF?
me. Yeah, exactly. I say GIF, not GIF.
Oh man.
But anyway, like, he doesn't have a mansion. He doesn't have luxurious cars. He doesn't sport like anything loud. even with his videos, it wasn't until like a year ago that he upgraded his camera to a good quality camera. And so he's not always worried about his image or how much money he has and stuff like that. He's just living his life, and he makes what he makes. And I like, honestly, if I were to ever get to that status of money is not an issue anymore, I hope that I can maintain a level of humility where I still don't feel like I'm better than anyone else just because I have money
I think
or
you
the
would.
nicest car.
I don't imagine
stuff
you
like
being
that.
the type that flaunts your money. Who knows?
But
Maybe
did
you're
you
a
know?
millionaire doing those YouTube videos.
I mean, I could be. I mean, I
See?
did deal in a. I dealt in a lot of. I dealt. I traded a lot of crypto earlier this year. Who's to say that I'm not rich right now? I mean, suddenly I have a new car. Suddenly I have all these nice lights and this microphone, and I don't know. I don't. I'm not rich.
Oh, man.
But if I ever am, I hope that I can remain humble. So
Yeah, same here.
I can see you being humble. I can see you being a. We're just gonna keep the money in the bank account and pull like $100 every 2 weeks. I see you as a
50
saver,
bucks,
not
actually.
a spender. Oh, $50. There we go.
No. I think
Um,
we live with our means. I would say that.
yeah.
We're not over extravagant. The fact that I'm going for a budget computer build should tell you that.
Meanwhile, I went for like, I want the most, bestest, biggest one.
At least you have a GTX, man. I don't even know. I think I read an article.
I
AMD
have an
was saying
RTX.
like till 2022 is when. No, chip shortage will continue through 2022.
Really?
Yeah.
It's a long time. There's. Have you noticed? There's a lot of shortages
Yes.
of
Too
everything.
much. Too much.
Like, I feel like every day I hear about a shortage of something, and it's funny because in the glasses world, there's a shortage of trifocals.
What?
Yeah, I know. It sounds really strange, but yeah, there's a shortage of trifocals, so not anybody can just go up and get a trifocal.
I didn't even know those existed.
Yeah,
I thought it was
yeah, we still make
bifocals.
them. Well, and that's the thing, trifocals, and I'm talking about a aligned trifocal, not a progressive lens, because I understand a progressive is a trifocal without a line, but
Expert here. I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah,
Is that the one where there's like a
that's it.
little window and there's the glass and then there's that little like slot for magnified?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't even. I probably have been thinking bifocals are wrong this whole time.
uh, uh, so bifocal. There's a lot of bifocals. Bifocal basically you have distance on top and reading at the bottom. So
Okay,
that's
I
a
see.
bifocal. A trifocal will give you distance, intermediate, and then the reader. A
Right.
progressive lens, or what we call a progressive lens, is a trifocal, but you don't get to see the lines.
Oh, it's
So
very
it's like blended.
Okay, I see.
It's blended into the lens. Yeah, so that's what that is. But a progressive does have
That's
a
a
reader
cool
and
idea.
distance.
I probably
So
want one of those.
Yeah, when I get older, that's probably what I'm gonna have. But yeah,
Fancy.
the trifocals. So
And
the
he says
line.
he's not gonna be flaunting his money.
This podcast is over. Just kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah. Okay. So there's a shortage of trifocals, which is super bizarre. Like, how do you even have a shortage of trifocals? It's like
Yeah,
it's
that's
weird. But then there's been shortages of plastic.
Isn't silicon part of the glasses world too?
No, polycarbonate.
I'm thinking of different silicon.
Oh,
Maybe. I don't know. Isn't that the one
Maybe.
that the breast implants are silicon as well?
yep.
Right? So
Yeah.
it's clear, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But there's shortages of GPUs.
Mm-hmm.
There's shortages of what else was there?
of happiness.
I've been taking it all in the form of money. No, I'm just messing. But yeah, like it's weird. I feel like the word shortage was not used as often as it's been used in the last couple of days. So.
Even Chick-fil-A sauce had shortages. That's the one that surprised me.
Do you think this comes back to like the workers, like all the people quitting their jobs and stuff like that?
I think it.
Because now there's a shortage of there's a shortage of workers.
Yeah, the silicon one was because of protocols and stuff. It's harder to mine silicon, so there's a shortage of that. And I think with the sauces, it was plastic, which is crazy.
Yeah, like there's a shortage of plastic. That's the weird one. Yeah, it's a crazy world, man. Like it's not something you hear very often. It's just
like you would think, like with all our technology, so many like benefits that we have in our modern world, first world, that we actually have shortages now.
Yeah, it's weird, man. This is another reason why I don't wanna like rely on fancy stuff. I want to live a more simplistic life, because in case that most things go scarce, yeah. You're still able to live a pretty normal life if you just keep it simple and not worry too much about all the little big details.
I would like eventually get solar panels for the house.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. I think my next house, the roof will be made out of solar panels.
Nice.
Humble brag. Oh my god. My car roof, the roof of my car is going to be solar panels. Electric.
I'm going to get Tesla solar panels instead.
Yeah. The Cybertruck is going to have a bunch of panels on top of it.
Oh my goodness.
That's exactly how it's going to be.
We have questions?
I'm not going to have... Oh, we do.
Yes.
Actually.
Question time.
Okay. So we asked last week to ask us some questions on Instagram. I asked on my Instagram. We should probably start a G&G Instagram.
Yeah.
But I have no time for it, so... Should we hire someone? Should we get an intern that doesn't get paid to do our stuff for us?
Yes. And we'll find out they're 18 years old, and then they say, you owe us $11 a month.
If you want to work for us, you gotta buy his lunch at least, man. Okay, so we got 4 questions here. First one. Are you going to talk about dating apps again? Could use some help. I don't know, Gabe. Are we going to talk about dating apps? Should we bring it back? Yeah.
I feel like there's some stuff I haven't talked about yet on there.
Ooh, should we talk about the more spicy stuff? All the crazy experiences? I don't know. I'll have to revisit what we talked about before.
Yeah, I'd probably want to rewatch that just to know what we need to talk about.
Yeah, so that we don't double down on the same topics
or contradict
on the same
ourselves.
Stories. Yeah. Yeah, that too. So yeah, I think that's something we can definitely talk about. Dating is always a good one to talk about.
Yeah.
And wasn't that like the first episode or the second episode was dating?
I think it was the first episode, actually. Yeah,
it
was.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's
Shout
a good
out
one.
to season 1.
Oh yeah, go check out season 1. Season 1 was all live streams. Now it's all recorded because we've upgraded, or maybe we downgraded. I'm not sure yet. All right. Okay. Second question. Why are you on the screen twice, but Gabe once? So this was directed at me because it came from my Instagram, and what they're referring to is that whenever I post stories on my Instagram, like inviting all of you to come watch our podcast, I show my screen, and then you see 3 screens, and you see my face twice, and then you see Gabe once. So the reason why you see that is because I use my DSLR as a webcam. I mean, Gabe does too, actually.
Yeah, I do.
We use OBS as a virtual camera. So we use that camera as a virtual camera. So we see that, or I see that on my screen, and then Gabe and I hop on a video call, and so I see myself again and I see him. So that's why you see my face twice, and then Gabe once.
I don't believe it. I don't believe you.
Yeah, I actually have 5 screens. Okay, question number 3. What inspired you to start a podcast? Did you hear that?
Gato's looking around for you podcast listeners.
There's some noises going around here. I think it was one of my cats. Well,
didn't we just talk about this earlier? To make money.
I mean, we kind of to make money. But what was the real inspiration? So with me, personally, I feel like I had been wanting to do a sort of podcast from a long time ago. I not that in all honesty, it's not like I feel like I have a lot to say, but at the same time, I do like talking because I'm just annoying like that. And I feel like I can bring good conversation to certain topics. And so I always wanted to have an outlet for that. And I feel like it's a good way to put my thoughts into words, and have someone to kind of like go back and forth with these ideas. And I just always liked the idea of it. It was a form of entertainment since I don't have time to make my own YouTube videos anymore. Mm-hmm. Podcasts are just easier to make content for. So that's some of my inspiration. And then Gabe was the one that asked me to do the podcast, and so that was the final push of inspiration. So Gabe, you inspired me to start this podcast.
Thank you.
But what was yours?
My reasoning. Okay, so it's kind of twofold. It kind of goes along with what you were saying, kind of an outlet. I figured now that I have a child, some people would want to hear about my experience, and I'd probably share with the world what it's like with other topics, dating as well. But mainly, I think this was during COVID, and not only did I want to practice socializing again because of all the social distancing, but it was a good opportunity for for us to reconnect, because I think we didn't talk for a long while.
Yeah.
And this was like a perfect opportunity to like get to reconnect, but also talk about something. Also, on top of that, do something we both want to do in terms of like YouTube and talking.
We're just so full of ourselves, and this is a good way to it's a good way to talk about ourselves, and reconnect and make money. Yeah, no, I you're right. I feel like when we first lived together back in like 2014, 2015.
Yeah.
We were both into film, and we wanted to make YouTube videos and
we
stuff
talked
like that.
about it for the longest time.
Yeah, and we actually never did anything, did we?
Didn't.
And so, yeah, that's still a bit of a regret, but
I know, right?
It's going away as we continue to do our podcast, so that's always good.
Yeah. I mean, it's something we definitely couldn't really do now that we're both married.
Yeah, like married, kids, money. I mean, no, money's not an issue.
Yeah. Maybe we should save that for another podcast. Like,
what?
Just like have a brainstorm session of what we could have made. Talk about what
video
we would
wise
have made back in the day.
That would be good, actually. That would be really good. But you know what? It's Spooktober. We should have some spooky stories.
Oh, I got some good ones.
Yeah, I do too. And you know what? When we first started the podcast, we talked about talking about ghost stories and stuff like that, ghost experiences, spiritual experiences, and and we agreed that we're gonna wait until October to talk about them. So
I have a bad memory. I don't remember that.
it's okay. Sometimes I have bad memories too, but when it comes to Spooktober, I remember
Yes,
everything.
good.
So, so yeah, we should get on that. We might even have to do two because I feel like we have a lot of stories. Between
I
the
got
two
some
of
real
us.
stories of like
I do too. That's the thing. It's
killer
like
stories, maybe
killer stories,
like murder, serial killer stories.
and they're
pretty
real.
scary. Yeah. Stay tuned for that, folks.
Goodbye.
If you're a podcast listener, make sure you do they subscribe? I don't know.
On Spotify?
Yeah.
I think you can follow on Spotify. So yeah, follow us on Spotify.
Or Apple.
Yeah. We'll have some good and juicy stuff for you the rest of this month. I do have one more question. This is how do I become a guest? Because we have had two guests in the show. One being a cinema fan when we talked about Loki and all the Marvel stuff. And recently we had Michael Van Wagener, who's a musician, who had a concert coming up, and he had a lot of really fun and interesting stuff to say. So if you guys are into music and like the process of creating songs and stuff like that, go give that song Go check out that podcast. Go listen to it.
Yeah.
Go watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, he gives
really
some good insight on like the music industry.
Yep.
His inspiration for his music. So check that one out.
I'd have to say, for you to become a guest, I mean, tell us what your niche
is. Yeah, your niche. Tell us your niche. That's a
Tell
weird
us your
word.
niche, and I know, but
going back to that English speaking podcast, for the longest time I thought it was Nietzsche. I thought that's how you said it. Nietzsche.
Wait, is that did we release that one, or is that the one that we just filmed?
That one hasn't.
Okay, check out the next podcast for some stuff about English speaking. But yeah, I think we're just trying to find interesting people that have, like interesting jobs, or niches, to talk about, like find out more about, what you do and stuff like that. We've reached out to a few other people, and we're trying to get some stuff scheduled for you guys to listen to. So hopefully we will be releasing those episodes in the next coming weeks. With Spooktober being right now, we'll probably stick to ghost stories. If any of you have ghost stories, ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Tell us your ghost stories. Yep. Let us know in the comment section of this video or next video. Tell us your ghost stories. Does that sound good, or should we?
I like that one, yeah. And if it's good enough, we'll have you tell it, maybe, in our podcast.
Ooh. But yeah, and anyway, that's it. That's it for the questions. Send us more questions.
Yes, thank you for your questions. Keep them coming.
Thank you for your viewership.
Yes.
Thank you for listening. Thank you for being you.
Yes.
Give yourself a pat in the back and applause to everybody. I don't know why.
Well, guys, if you enjoyed the podcast, make sure you follow us on whatever podcast platform you listen to. And those on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. And notifications, like, all that good stuff, comments. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed the podcast. You have anything else to add,
Thanks,
Gato?
everybody. No. Thanks for listening. We'll see you guys next week.
All right, peace.
Peace.